while ago, and I was looking at your emails about Ego Money, and I now my computer's frozen. I mean, I can't win today.
Oh my.
I'm clicking away here and nothing's happening. Oh, for
My,
goodness sake.
I did something. I don't know. I got two screens on here, and I was looking at one screen, reached over and typed on the wrong keyboard a while ago, and my screen just froze up, and I couldn't get it to do anything. I finally wound up having to shut that one down and reboot it just to get it to come up and work. That's,
Absolutely nuts.
I don't know what I typed on the wrong keyboard, but it wasn't, the screen I was looking at wasn't doing anything, but the other screen just froze up.
I think they just get old and tired. You know, they don't want to cooperate.
Yeah,
Kind of
sometimes.
like
I believe that's true.
when I was, I was looking at the emails, and I had started to look at that one about branding the
Yeah.
YouTube videos, and I have a YouTube channel. I was just digging into that. We had to have dinner. It was getting late, so I stopped doing that.
Yeah.
But what about this call on Sunday night? That sounds interesting.
It is. Actually, a couple of weeks ago, they had a very special guest speaker on that call. So
Wow.
it was me. But yeah, it's a really good call. It's that particular call doesn't have anything to do with any particular business. It's just network marketing and tricks of the trade, strategies and things like that you can use. And it's hosted by Vicki and Lynn, Vicki Wooden and Lynn Hamilton. And
Yeah, I get emails from Lynn.
yeah, she's in our upline, so does real good. She's from up in Brooklyn, New York.
Uh-huh.
But the two of them host that call every week, and they usually try to have a guest on or something like that.
Okay.
A lot of good,
Yeah,
a lot of good information. Plus, they do email a lot of that information out. Vicki does. She has her. I don't know. You can subscribe to it, whatever it is, whatever you call it, newsletter or whatever. And she puts out a lot of. That's where that email you saw today, the branding email came from today. That was one of the ones she sent out. So it just looked like some good information. I tried to pass on anything that might look useful there. So.
Well, back, oh gosh, in the early days with Ameriplan, no, actually it was the early days of Express, excuse me. It was the early days of Express. I had joined with somebody that I worked with in Ameriplan, and he was doing a call weekly, a couple of times a week.
Yeah.
And I remember him devoting a couple of calls to the YouTube thing, and I remember the keep vid. I remember that, and I took notes, and I just never got into it. I mean, I just could not put it together. So I never did do that. But as soon as I heard her say about keep vid, I thought, this is going to be. It sounds a little simplified, though, from what I remember. It's very, very involved.
Yeah.
This sounds a little streamlined.
I have a YouTube channel, and I have tons of videos, different videos that I make. Almost every video that I make using Screencast-O-Matic, I turn around and upload it to YouTube, where I can then have the URL and the other information that I can, embed it in different websites and emails and things like that. That's but I know other people use YouTube for a lot of other things, and I really don't know a whole lot about using YouTube other than what I use it for, and it works real good for what I use it for, so I'm happy with that. But I know there's a lot more to it that probably could be utilizing.
Well, I'm not much for the videos. I don't mind anything that's, maybe a couple of minutes, 3-4 minutes.
That's
Going
optimum there.
Long videos. I don't have time to sit there and watch videos. I don't have time. So I turn them off. So, they do no good as far as I'm concerned. But the short ones, everybody's got a couple of minutes to watch a video quickly.
Most of what I do is I try to hold it in 2 to 5 minutes maximum. Of course, I do also upload all these calls on YouTube as well. So that runs about an hour. So that's a long video, but most everything else I do, I try to hold it to 2 to 5 minutes. I'm just looking at a couple right here. I got one that's 1:55 and another one that's 3 and about 3.5 minutes, and then I got another one that's 54 seconds here. It's that's right on the front page of the Winning Team website. So it's a very useful way to pass on a little information or training or things like that.
Yeah.
Of course.
Well, training is good because you can see it right there.
Right. And video holds people's attention more than just a text email. A lot of times they won't bother, if it's long, they won't bother to read through it. If it's real short, big letters, a lot of white space, and people usually read that. But if it gets just be long, drawn out, they won't read it. So, but a little short 2 or 3 minute video, it'll catch their attention, and it'll usually hold them, through the video. So video is a good medium for advertising, a good medium for promoting a business or training or all kinds of things, or entertainment.
Yeah, I like the training videos because it's so much easier to follow. And the written training. What's going on with you?
Oh, not much. Been kind of a slow day today. Did go out and buy a new front door for the house.
New front door?
Yeah. My son's coming home in November, and we're going to, I guess, rebuild the front of the house, put a new front door on it. Nice door. The door on there right now is about dilapidated and falling in, so it's time to replace it.
You'll think he's at the wrong house. How long has it been since he's been here?
Oh no, he's been home about once a year.
That's good.
Yeah, it's been a long time since he lived here. He's been over there for 15, 16, 17 years, I guess. I don't know, long time.
Wow.
He's actually he's coming home at Thanksgiving time, but he's not really coming home to see us. He's actually coming home to go running a race on Thanksgiving Day down in Florida. So.
He's a marathoner?
He goes all over the world doing that.
Wow.
He goes everywhere running, so he enjoys it. He does pretty good at it, but he runs in these races, competitively and everything, but he's not really in competition with the big names, but he seems to really enjoy it. It's helped him get physically back in shape. He used to look like I do, like a big basketball in front of me here, but now he looks he's done slimmed down. He looks pretty good shape. So
where is he in England, Mike?
Oh, I can't remember the name of the town actually, but it's right close to
30 minutes from Destin, I think.
It's right close. That's something different.
Tennyson.
It's Huntingdon. He's right close to Huntingdon, which is about an hour north of London.
Oh, okay.
In Cambridgeshire, which is, I guess, what we would call a county. So
Yeah, my husband's mother was from Wales, and I have no idea where that was. I've often thought about looking at a map and, figuring it out, but I just don't know where it was. But she was here probably since, gosh, the beginning of World War II,
Yeah.
and she still had that British accent when she died. I mean, she never lost that. Very strong British accent.
My son pretends to have one, but he doesn't really.
Well, you do pick it up,
Oh yeah, well, like I said, he's been there a long time. He can
Yeah.
he can do it, but he doesn't really have it. So and there's a few words he uses that you really we wouldn't caught him using them around here if he had still lived here. But
Yep.
he doesn't say garage; he says garage and things like
Garage,
that. Yeah. Just, but
And there's so many words, that are, just colloquialisms here, and they're really offensive to the British because they
Yeah.
use them in a different way.
Yep. he's he's been over there
Yeah, we
for a
never,
long
never got
time.
to visit. He's got family over there. My husband had family over there. He talked about going and never did. Every time we would plan to do it, something would happen. And
Well.
this wasn't God's plan. We just never got over there.
If you get a chance, you ought to do it. You ought to go. I've been over a couple times, and we thoroughly enjoyed ourselves being over there. The people are different. They're different, but
Yeah.
They're nice.
actually, my wife says they're nice, and actually, they are nicer than the people over here. To be honest with you, but they're we've thoroughly enjoyed. We've been over there and we traveled all over England and Scotland and
Yeah, that's
Wales
nice. You
and-
go through the country really easy.
and
That is nice.
we been down to France for on a couple different trips and seen a lot of that, mostly around Paris. But
Answer.
my son goes, as part of his job, he goes
Hi.
all over Europe and Africa and India and
Yeah. Only on Tuesday and Thursday.
Western Asia and places like that. But he also,
Of course, of course.
yeah, well, if he gets 3 days in a row off, he's likely to be anywhere in the world.
We know what part it
he
is,
just
and
goes.
She gave me
And,
$20 today, and I'll go get her.
he
car.
also works with his church a
Well,
whole lot.
I
He
told her
works
I
with the
couldn't
kids
buy it
in
until
the
next
in
Wednesday
church
when he
and
gets paid.
also with
He gets
kids
paid
on the
the
military
last
bases
Wednesday of
there,
the month.
and he takes them off on these.
Oh, well, I have 20. I'm saying.
I guess I'd call them mission trips. They go
Okay.
and
That's
build
fine.
playgrounds
We'll
and stuff
try
like
to do
that
it
for
on
churches
Sunday
all over Europe,
Originally,
and
That is
they thoroughly enjoy going with
the
him on that
tensioner.
and on those things. So,
was broken every time they got it on
Here-
there when they started the car.
a couple years ago,
I
I guess now he took a group of 100 kids
yes.
to
I don't
Poland,
know if there's any more parts,
for
but
one of those trips,
we do
and
know that one's worn out.
they had the volcano in Iceland erupt,
cool.
and it caused
Yeah.
such a problem with the soot and the smoke and the dust and everything. They canceled almost all
But
the
she's not willing to
airline
spend it
flights
on her
there,
groceries.
and
And
as a
I'm not
result, he
willing
had to
to
take 100
spend
kids
$5
back on a
either.
bus to get them back to
Not
England.
for 10 years anyhow.
Oh my gosh.
That was quite a
Wow.
adventure for him.
That must have been some bus.
She's has everybody
Holy
take her
cow.
places.
Some bus trip, that's for sure. Of
Bus trip, yeah.
course, it took him a couple extra days to get back
Of course, the
home
one
instead
thing
of
she's been
just
using is moving.
just a matter of an hour or two. It took him several
Next
days
door.
to get home. So,
I don't
but he
know
does
what
that.
they asked her.
He just really
They had to go
enjoys
borrow a
doing that sort of
flashlight.
thing, and he also enjoys
Start
the
getting
job
dark.
he does. Like I said, he
Oh,
travels
no.
all over. He
She
works
said,
for
"I'm
the
sorry."
for a contractor on
No, they
on
were
a
packing stuff
U.S.
up, but we
government
need the flashlights
contractor
to look at
there
the engine.
on.
Yeah.
And
And that when they
he
went up there,
does
they noticed all the boxes.
computer
and she said, "Oh,
forensics.
I'm moving.
If it's something happens, something comes up, or anything like that, he'll travel anywhere all over the world to reclaim a computer and the hard drives out of the computer, and
I wasn't
diagnose and figure out what was on them. And he's one of 3 people in the world that does what he does. So.
Does he have to live on a military
because I
base?
took her to church
No,
Wednesday
actually,
night.
he owns a house over
She
there.
really loved it. It was,
He works on a military base.
she can catch a tour.
He actually went over
I
there
think-
originally. He was in the Air Force,
Spaghetti and
and
I got a very
there was
little rest because it was just too much food.
company, a government contractor that was
please. I said,
working
"Well,
there in
you
the
can
same
do it at home if you want,
same
you know."
base, same office he was working
I'm
in,
not
and
that poor yet.
they offered him more
I
money
thought,
than the Air Force
the
did. So
heck you aren't.
he retired from the Air Force and took their job. And
I thought, no sense in arguing.
they eventually lost their contract, but he got another contract with another company.
No, she doesn't.
And doing the same job, he's still working there in the same
But,
office. So
Mom, there's still
he's
checks
been there
in my
for
checkbook.
years and years and
There's money
years.
in the account.
He thoroughly enjoys what he does,
Right.
which is, I think that's
No,
important. You need to enjoy what you're doing.
Ask for 2 blank checks.
It is.
You know,
I'm
to
telling
me
you,
on
that
the
if you don't love
phone.
what you do, you might just as well dig
And,
a hole and fall in, because life will be miserable.
I said, well,
That's why I do this business. I thoroughly enjoy it.
But
I
she
might
was in
not
the
be
car
the
with us. She did not ask Jennifer.
Most
Jennifer
successful
would've
or the
said,
richest,
You
but
don't need to check.
I thoroughly
because
enjoy
there's
what I
no
do.
money
I
in the
enjoy
bank,
meeting
so
people
it's
all over the
emergency.
world.
You can't cash
It's-
it.
Yeah, I enjoy
No.
the social media and meeting people and
Yeah.
talking to people. I can tell,
Just-
with real estate, that's
well,
what
yeah.
it's all about. Constantly meeting
Oh, yeah.
people. But
Yeah,
I
every-
do. I enjoy
It's
it.
okay. But, no. No,
I
she's
was
paying
reading,
for
I was
it,
reading
so
your email
I'll
about
get the
the
part and
advertising
then I'll
on
give her
Eagle
her
Money.
change. What's
Yeah.
left over, the 20,
I'm going to have to go in
because
there
it
and
was
get
just
some
$17.99. As long as she can pay for it,
banners on there.
I think she should.
So it's done.
Exactly.
Let me explain to you a
You
little
know?
bit how those banners work and how
Right.
really
And,
great
she
that
expected all
program
of us
is.
to jump co and fix it
A
immediately.
lot
and
of
I
people
thought,
come in and
no,
they
when
don't
you have
really
the money, we will
understand
fix it.
how really great
You've
that
got
program
to
is.
learn that
Because
money
what it
doesn't
amounts
grow
to
on
is,
trees.
for $5
And
you
if
can
it
put
did, mine died.
you can put banner ads on there, and they're 125 by 125 banner ads.
Yes, it just,
That's the little
Walk
little
away.
square ones, and they scroll.
Oh, you don't put the long ones on, okay.
Well,
went and spent
you
a
do
bunch
later. You
today.
can, but initially,
yeah.
for the
Michael
for
sent
the
me a credit
$5,
card
you
with
you can put
$1,000
your
on it.
banner ads. The 125 by
brand new door
125,
and
and they
door
scroll
handle
across
they told me to
the
get.
top of every screen. And every time somebody goes to a different screen,
Yeah.
is a different set of ads scrolling across there.
No,
So
you know me.
appears
I'm a
on there.
penny
You're
pincher.
literally getting thousands of views to
No.
that every day. And for the $5, you get
I have to
2,000 views. You get 1,000
Not
banner
penny,
ads and
but
1,000
signing.
text link ads.
And paint.
Wow.
for the
Or
front.
views, not ads, views. Well, I guess if you wanted
So-
one view per ad, you could
Yeah,
have
no,
1,000
I
ads.
found
But
the-
you know,
not
you
quite
get
the
1,000
cheapest
views
door,
for
but
each one.
almost.
But
The
what
cheapest
happens
door
is when
was
you
white, and I did not want white.
refer
I didn't want to
someone,
paint over it.
or
This is a
you know,
medium
and they
oak.
come in and buy a $5
It's a
ad,
medium oak
you actually get
color.
50% of what they get.
Fiberglass with
When
all
they
that
get
stuff
2,000,
in
for
it,
$5, they get
energy
2,000
efficient,
ad views.
and it's got
But
beautiful
in
oval
for the
inlaid
same time,
glass
you
in
get
the middle.
1,000 ad views added
$4.77.
to yours. So, if you got four
Lowe's.
positions on your front row, just like
And then we
the
got,
feeder matrix
the door
works.
assembly,
The
and that was
matrices are
almost
set up exactly
the
the
lowest.
same.
They went
There's
for
a
71.
little difference in the money, but they're
No, I think we got the
they work the
$79
same.
one.
But
Or
what happens is
$79.
when
Not
you got
yellow. Not yellow.
four
gold,
people
but,
on your front row, which means not only do you get 400% of your money back,
Sort of. It's dark.
you start out for $5, but then of course everybody on the front row pays you
No,
$5.
it's not really that color. It's kinda
But you
gray,
also get
dark.
1,000 ad views for each
Okay,
person that
yeah.
you review, and
And
you get
that's
that
very
50% from for everybody that you
Michael,
personally
he's
refer.
coming on the 22nd.
You know, whether
I don't know
they're
who's gonna
in
help him,
in
'cause Mike
at
can't.
a level where you're getting
He's gonna-
you know paid. You know, they're paying
November,
you or
yeah.
not. It doesn't matter.
He does the
Whatever
run on the
they
22nd,
whatever
I
ads
guess on
they
Sundays
get,
when he's
you
gonna
get
put the door in.
half that many more added
'Cause
back to
Jerry
your
has
total.
half a day off
So
on Sunday.
you literally can get thousands
Uh-huh.
and thousands of
I hope.
ad views, and
I never
I
know
get
his hours,
really
you know,
really good
because his
results
stuff
from them
on.
as far as clicks and click throughs and
So that,
you know, and
No.
I get results as far as people
But he
taking
has a-
action.
a
So-
manager's
Good.
meeting or something he has
But
to attend on
when you
Wednesday,
once you
so
get to level
pray that they
4,
make him manager. That
pretty
would
sure
be
it's
a
level
real
4.
money.
You get 3. You can
He's the
post
acting
3
UNL.
468 by 60 banner ads,
Well, I think so too.
Okay.
and they don't cost you any ad
Uh-uh.
views. In other words,
Well,
you know,
He's got
they're
to
there
watch the
and
sponsor.
they'll be there for life, and you can change them
He's got
whenever
to
you
watch
want
the
to. You know.
sponsor.
But they're they're always there, and there's literally getting bunches
Yeah.
and bunches of bunches of
Real
ads in that
constantly.
now. But
Yeah.
they they categorize, and people can go and click on a
And-
particular if they're looking for something or an ad, particular kind of ad. They can click on a particular
I think
category, and
that's
it'll take them to
probably
all the
gonna be
banner
something.
ads in that category.
You know, unless
So
it rains.
and like I said,
But, yeah.
that's another thing that they do. Once
Yeah, I got her to sign all
once you
those
hit level
papers so
4,
that
you can
use
start
the
and you can
thing
add 3
at the
banner
senior
ads.
center.
468. That's the long ones you're talking about.
Yeah, but she's
Yeah, yeah.
And,
that's $5 each way.
and
Okay.
Well,
literally,
in
as
an
you work
emergency,
yourself up through the
have to
rank,
give
you know
someone
the
else gas money.
level 8,
can't
you get
just-
400,000
Well,
ads, ad views.
And I don't have my
400.
truck.
That sounds like a lot,
Someone's borrowed
but if
it
you
because
if
their
you personally
Jeep
sponsored the
broke.
4 people, you know.
So they're borrowing
And
it
they
right
get to
now.
level 8 too.
Just got
Well,
it
you know,
fixed
you got
today.
4
They're gonna
times
get
400,000, 16.
The truck.
What's
till
that?
Monday,
1.6
make
million
sure
ads, and you'd get half
it's
of that.
fixed instead of
You
plate.
get 800,000 ads, ad views. So, you know, plus the 400,000 you already had. So you're looking at over 1 million ad views there. So it's it
Great.
you know it's just really fantastic advertising medium, and we're getting people. You know, of course, it doesn't to me personally in my mind, it does no good to advertise egomaniac. Oh, maniac. I'll get it right in a minute. Egomaniac on you know on those places, because most of the people advertising there, they're already a member of Egomaniac. So, but we get you know people advertising you know all kind of businesses, and we're getting all I mean just about everything, including real estate and you know charity and things like that. Just you know
Did you
just
look on
about
the
every kind
page
of
for
product
Emily?
and service you can think of is being advertised on there
Wasn't
now.
that cool?
And
Did you like the
it-
picture of Smoky
I don't know.
Feet?
It just seems like such a fantastic opportunity to me, just for that. Plus, you know
That was
what you can
just
get
such
just by
a
referring a
marvelous
few
shot.
people.
I'll have to dig into it a little bit.
And
Yeah,
of course,
she-
you know
she's a
you
good
refer them, you know, and they at level 1, of course, they sponsor 4
Oh.
people, so you got 16 people on your level 2, or you know, in when those if any of those people on level 2 you have personally referred, then you know they get 4,000 ads at level ad views at level 2. If you personally referred those,
Oh,
whether
so
they're actually
views?
paying you level 2 or somebody else level 2, you still get 50% of the ads that they buy. Anybody you personally sponsored. So you know,
Me too.
it it's
Well,
probably
we're supposed to
the
do
cheapest.
that. Oh, well.
It's not even what I call cheap, because you're actually earning money. It's not costing you
yeah.
money.
Yeah, but you advertise, yeah.
You know, but to advertise and like I said, you can advertise
Gosh, I
anything
could've
there, any business,
Go ahead. I couldn't
including your
give you-
real estate.
I couldn't give you your mother's address.
Yeah.
You could have seen her
Why not?
house.
And I bet that's about the cheapest
It's
real
on
estate
the
advertising you'd ever find.
Country
so.
club. The golf
Well,
club.
you know, got an email. They've been pumping this. The National Association has been pumping this, that you're going to be able to set up your own .realtor domain. They're going to have, you know, the realtor
Yeah.
do that. So today at 11 o'clock was the first time you could go in and set up your domain. Every single name I put in, including my own, including Doug's,
Wow.
It's already claimed.
wasn't available. How could your own name not be available?
Well,
It's so absurd.
do you know
And so-
how many gazillion realtors there are out there, and how many of them are named Sandy?
Well,
Uh-huh.
you know, your own, my full name, Sandy Blumstrom dot Realtor, was not available. I'm sorry, I don't buy it.
Well, you know,
No.
back when the internet first hit, and everybody had to, you know, was grabbing up domain names. There was people grabbing domain names and never had any inkling of an idea that they'd ever use it,
Sounds
other
like
than
fun to me.
they figured,
Yeah.
you know, hey, look, I'm gonna go get Coca-Cola, you know, and then one day Coca-Cola's gonna want an internet, you know, presence, and when they do, look at the money and there's
Oh,
people
that's
that
good.
actually got rich selling, you know, grabbing domain names and selling them,
Yeah. Golly.
and
You know,
Very
I
good.
said to Doug, it's better for
Let's
us to
see.
go out
I cleaned the bathroom.
on GoDaddy and
I
do some
put the
.com
towels away.
and just have them all go back to our
yesterday I made
website.
spaghetti.
You know, the
Yeah.
Unity Realtor website,
yeah,
Oh, yeah, that
and
was good.
you know,
Except
just mask it and send it to
I got a
that
little
website.
overzealous
But I just was like,
with the garlic.
and I sent them a
love
support
garlic.
ticket. You know, that was like 11 o'clock this morning.
Oh,
Yeah.
Still haven't heard
I
anything.
got garlic on my arm.
I probably never will.
they're probably swamped.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, they probably
they're
are.
really swamped. That's just
Oh,
like
yeah. You can smell me a
here. I
mile
think
away.
last year, the year before last, they opened up
But everyone loved
.co.
Yes.
And it was
And when they
was
did that,
gluten-free
.co
noodles.
was grabbed up almost immediately,
gluten-free
and
sauce.
they were, you know, to get a .co, you had to
Let's
pay
see.
big money.
Mushrooms, onions, a little
I
bell
think it's
pepper,
settled down a little bit now. It's
and,
not quite so
turkey meat.
expensive, but it's still pretty expensive
that
to
was
grab a
pretty healthy.
.co.
That's funny. That's funny. Because, you know,
Tonight I think I'm having an apple.
when I go on GoDaddy, though, I always start with the .info because they're the
Right.
cheapest.
Not always. So many people were
See you
grabbing
later.
.infos here
Bye.
just a while back that .infos got to be pretty expensive, but
Oh, really?
they're back down to cheap now, and they're pretty cheap. The last ones I grabbed were only a couple bucks, so. But there for a short while they were getting pretty tight.
Mike, I'm going to have to go. We've got to pick up Melissa from work, so.
Well, I appreciate you being here. I don't know where everybody else went.
Yeah, I just really, we have been talking a while and nobody's come.
No.
Nobody gets to the party.
No, and Dave called me earlier this evening and said he needed to talk to me, and I've been calling him back. I was out, and I told him as soon as I got home I'd call him. I've been calling him back, ever since then, and I can't get him. I don't know what the deal is, but anyway, he had some
Well, you
good
probably-
news about Joanne. We'll share it later. I'll let him share it with you. But
Well, I saw one of the, for some reason, some of his messages copied to my text,
mm-hmm.
and I saw something about bladder cancer that it must have been her.
Yeah, that's these tests they made while she was in the hospital here recently. It showed that she had some cancer, but the good news that he had to post today was that it was not stage 3 like they thought it was. It was stage 1, and the doctor said there's pretty much no reason to even worry about it or treat it or anything unless it.
Oh,
So it was pretty good news there.
fabulous. Oh, that is good news. Yeah, I didn't know anything about that until I saw this text, and I didn't know what to connect it to. I just knew it was probably to Reverend Dave.
Yeah.
And that was all I knew. Well, okay. Well,
All
God
right.
bless you.
Well, God bless you too, and I appreciate you being in here. And
You're probably going to be hearing from me before Tuesday about this ego money, but
you know how to get me.
I'll,
You know how to get me.
I'll put my thoughts together first and then call you. Okay.
Okay, that'll be great.
Okay. God bless.
God
Good
bless you
night
too.
now.
We'll talk to you later. Bye bye.
You know what he showed up?